Let us cut the model and we're going to then block it out. I'm going to fast forward this because you guys have probably seen this many times. Use a model designer to cut the arch and then we're going to continue. Once it's trimmed, make sure you do not hollow the models before continuing. Let's go to the block out. Even though this model is called upper, you need to engage in this menu. Now we're not printing on this model. This is important to make this offset very small. When we are sintering metal, the contact surface is very close to our original blocked out model. So here I will be setting this at 0.03. This is extremely close to the model, 30 microns. You can change this, and this is something that you guys need to experiment with again. Now we've got this set at 0.2. I will make this a little bit more crisp and finer, 0.1. Then we're going to survey this upper model. Now, what I'm looking at is undercuts where we can put clasping. Here, there's not much undercut at the moment. In fact, we can see all the way down this tooth. I would like to place a clasp here if possible. Here, there's not that much undercut. We've got a lot of undercut in the mesial side of the molar and the distal side over here. So perhaps if we move the model a little bit differently, I'm looking at this in specific, and we're going to mark this. So at this point in time, we can still move things around. Wait for the tool tips to come up before you're moving it. You can now move the scene. Okay, we're moving the scene, and I'm looking at the undercuts. So we have successfully got an undercut there, and we've got an undercut in this area there, and we've got undercut over there in the molar. So this seems to be pretty good. We can shift this a little bit if you wanted to. Say for example, we're looking down the y-axis and we're moving the axis a little bit, or the x-axis from side to side. Note how the markings will change. Now in the future update, we're going to have an additional marker where we can actually engage and color more or less a different undercut, so we can measure the severity of the undercut. So I'm not 100% happy with this one because I've lost a little bit of undercut. So we're going to shift this across the other way again. Note also how it is colored over here at the buckle side. So this is looking way better. And I think I'm going to go with this scenario. Perhaps we move the model up a little bit. This way. Let's see what result we've got. Again, we have lost a little bit of undercut there. So I'm going to attempt to move this back a little bit. And we're going to move this across this way a little bit, that way. Now this is all undercut. This is what I'm looking for. We don't have much undercut over here, but we can place a clasp in this area. Alright, we're not going to click on Auto Default Models as we're going to be sculpting our undercuts. I will make the voxel size a bit smaller. And then we're going to adjust dynamic undercuts. Now please note there has been a slight change in the model, in the blockout module. The default value is -0.2, which is a little bit less than what we used to have. Now I'll set this at even less, -0.1, because I want to make sure everything is blocked out on the palatal side. And we're going to apply this offset. Then we're going to sculpt. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this is on negative, and we will clean up the model a little bit. Then I'm going to set this, leave this on minus, and we're going to sculpt out over here. Now, as I've said before, in the next version we're going to have an additional marking so that we can then scientifically put this clasp into a correct location. So I plan to place a clasp over here. And I plan to clasp over here. So with the layout of our chrome cobalt partial denture module, we will then be able to put clasps and have patterns and all of that there. So if I wanted to come with a ring clasp around the back, or if I wanted to clasp around this way as well, whichever way you prefer. I like my long-ended clasps, my ring clasps. So we're going to engage over here. I will add a little bit on the side. Like that, because I do not like cutting chrome cobalt, so I want to make sure I've got everything correct. I'll add a little bit in this area. Like that. I will clean up this bit over here and this bit over there. I will add a little bit on this side, and up top here, just a little bit, to ensure that I've got no undercuts. Like this. And I will take away where we like to put a clasp. Like this. Following that, we're going to commit, and we're going to then exit, and the tooltips tell us to create a retentive model. So what that has done, it has combined the two together. So 0.1 and finish this. So please note, in the updated version we have these buttons where you can choose to hide whatever you don't want to see. So let's hide them all. These are the original models. This is an offset model. This is a passive model. And the other one is the retentive model. This is a model we are interested in.